Says I'm online. Confirming. So what's going on? Let's see here. The dollar. Doesn't look like much movement today. Looks like the Dow Jones picked up the pace. Little S&P. Looks like the dollar made a 2-bar reversal on the daily. Came into resistance and didn't mind it at all, so it popped over the 8 for the second time. Well, if it keeps going, it can make a nice AB bottom, creating the head. If it wants to get above here and then make a right shoulder, maybe we can find something like that. Completing the dollar's overall pattern, the reverse head and shoulders here. So funny how that works. Long-term pattern inside a smaller pattern. Left shoulder head, 2-bar reversal into resistance. So let's see how this goes. I figured a rejection for a deeper right shoulder, but over the 8 into the 13, back into the 8. So I'm looking for just a tiny retracement back in, build over the 34 hopefully soon. Completing the overall left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I was looking for a deeper right shoulder, but not necessary. Sometimes they're stronger than that. So dollar looks healthy at a bottom. S&P, see the outside day, into resistance, over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8, over, and then a little dip here, and then popped its head over the 34. So very nice. Kind of a rounding top, but right now it's got support. Maybe a little rejection as it reaches into previous lows. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Dow, same thing, popped its head over the 34. You can see the same kind of move over the 8, into the 8. Most of the time it opposing point into the 8 and 13, then pops across the 34. So very nice. It's into previous lows now. If it can keep its pace, maybe ride the range. But I'm looking for some kind of opposing point to complete the patterns. Volatility index is at its lows, at support. So all you freaks out there trading the volatility index. Looks like a double bottom at the support line too. Hit it straight on, bounced, and then little doji here. Nice J-curve pattern. 2-bar reversal at the top, and then a falling star, so it came all the way into support. Let's see if it'll hold here. A nice line of support. Interesting. Wondering if it'll break that line of support this time, completing the J-curve. It's got plenty of room to come down on the weekly. Nice movement on the volatility index. Has support. Let's see if it'll hold. NASDAQ, same thing as the indexes. Nice 3-bar pattern down here, Morningstar style. Over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8, little kicker. Little dip, just a tiny dip, and then back into previous lows, closing on its highs. Apple, a little shaky at the bottom there. Looks like it's gathering its support here. See if it'll break past the resistance line at the top of the gap. The gaps always have resistance. Bottom of the gap, top of the gap, both sides. Usually it fills the gap and then gets rejected, but doesn't like to be rejected this time. It looks like the 8 crossing for momentum reasons. So through time, it looks like momentum is going to pick up for this one. It is at a bottom. I mean, it's taken down really hard and fast. So expect a bounce. What kind of a bounce? Nobody knows. I got previous lows at 163, previous lows at 171, and a gap to complete at 181. And the 34 is at 162, where the first line of resistance is. So see what's going on there. Apple. Google looks good for a bottom pattern. You can see the pattern here consolidating, breaking into previous lows will be nice. You can see the pop across at 34, step into support. Watch for a previous high break, flat top break. Little launching pad there on the Google. We got a double bottom on Nikkei. Nikkei double bottom over resistance into support, doubled back, and looking for a pop across at 34 into previous lows. That long line of support looks like a whipsaw. Looks like it tried to break down, but it turned into a whipsaw. So now we got a whipsaw. See if it can gather more support though. Nicely done, Nikkei, nicely done. Dollar per yen. Looks like the shakedown came up over the 8 into the 8, then sideways. As the 8 crosses over from momentum through time, it went sideways through time. The 8 eventually will cross over the 13. So price popped, came back above, closing above the 13 and the 8. Good signal. Let's see if it'll build. I got first line of resistance. I got a meeting line at 109, 110. Light crude, looks like a little pop-up. 2-bar reversal down. Let's see. Where are you at? Let's take a longer view look first. Reverse head and shoulders, I remember now. Had a nice run, came all the way back into support. That's the neckline. So I expect this is going to, after bouncing off a support line, nice takedown. You can see the takedown from above. Nice falling star into support. 3-bar pattern, Morningstar style. 2-bar pattern, up, up, up. There's a little accumulation phase right here. Higher highs, higher lows. Over the 34, back into the 34. Watch for previous high breaks. Nicely done, oil. Being that the price pattern is not complete, though, look at the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, let it complete. Watch for the shakeout. Make sure we stay above support. Nice gaps on natural gas. I got plenty of support at the gap. 30 or 3.28. Let's call it 3.29. Made a nice cup. You can see the long candle and then the long candle to match. Look at the inverted hammer over the 8. That's pretty nice. So I had a previous high break, didn't even touch the gap, just gapped above the gap. And hit the 34 for resistance, so watch it come down and fill the gap. As the 8 crosses over, watch price and the 8. Let's make a splash. Hitting support. Let's see what happens. It's got to fill that gap sometime. Boom, 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 boom. Nice accumulation. Little rounded top. I don't think my I don't think my live streams are working too well. It just really pisses me off. I mean, barely got notice. Who knows what the hell's going on? I'll check it. I'll check it later. Nice outside day. Over the 8, into the 8. Another inverted hammer over support. Pop. Bump, bump, bump. I got a hanging man inside the pattern. More of a hammer on the bottoms. I think I was looking for a previous high break, but let this come in and settle in on the support line. You can see how the 8 and the price is matching up as it crosses over the 34, that little splash. Uranium, we're going to have to take a longer look at it. Still looking at that ominous falling star. Look at the 8 crossing over the 13, the close below the averages. What up, Jasper? Nice to see you. It'd be nice to see you in Discord, if you remember how to get there. That way we can chat live. Caught a couple good runners yesterday on Binance. Maybe you want to transfer some money over there. Anywho's, Uranium, nice falling star at the bottom. So at a falling star at the bottom pattern, signal for a fall into support. So I got support lines at 26. So let's see how that works out. But that's a shiny, shiny candle. Nice reversal bar. Very, very pretty candle. Look at that thing. Oh, I see another candle here. So I had the falling star, crossed over resistance into, or crossed over support into resistance, and a hanging man here. So because these candles are at a bottom, I would suggest that any confirmation below the line would just fall into support, back into the pattern. That's uranium. Bitcoin, we went over Bitcoin just last hour. Bitcoin needs to get over that 8. I don't know what it's waiting for. Hopefully it doesn't fall over one more time. If it does, I've got support line at 28. Let's call it 3,000. And if it falls into the pattern or range, it's going to fall into the 2,000 range. But the daily pattern still looks good. A nice cup and handle on the weekly. Gold. You can see now 3 fingers pointing up. I'm still thinking this is going to come back into support. You can see how far it is stretched beyond its averages. So I'm thinking coming back into the 34. Hopefully following the 8 all the way up. So if it has to, come all the way back into the 34, but follow the 8 for a better momentum. It's a nice run up. It's got a lot of work to do. It's been knocked back. Silver is just a long right shoulder, as I think I said that earlier. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then the head has a reverse head and shoulders in it. The right shoulder has a reverse head and shoulders on it. And then on the far right, we have a double bottom, a W. You can see the W. So I'm thinking this has got 2 wicks pointing up, a little tweezer top, maybe a support, coming back into support kind of situation. Let me see if I can do a better W. So nice W. Oh my God. Name A alone. This thing again. So nice W bullish pattern. Nicely done. Nicely done. And a whipsaw back into the previous pattern to boot. So got that going for you. So maybe come back into support. It's a little stretched from its averages. Little opposing point. Continue on to the other side of the pattern. See if we can't get a break. Lots of talk about restructuring the Fed. going back to the gold standard, and with all this shutdown talk, I think that there was rumors that Trump, over the Christmas vacation, was settling the bankruptcy that we had during Nixon years when we went off the gold standard. We were in bankruptcy, and rumors are that there's no talk about this officially, obviously, but there's talks that he was restructuring the bankruptcy during his Christmas vacation while Congress is on vacation. This guy never sleeps. Anyways, it's a possibility. Gold-silver ratio, I wish that I had seen this 86 ounces per 1 ounce of gold, 86 and a half. I'm thinking that maybe something is going to break. I mean, imagine 100 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. I mean, it broke previous highs. It broke a triple top. Now it's back into support. I mean, just speaking logically, I think that